been a realtor for about 13 years.
Oh, good for you. Wow.
Yeah, and when I started, I did the door knocking. I got a lot, that's how I got my clientele. But for the last 7 years, I've been doing a lot of short sales, working with investors, flipping and, clients just giving me leads, giving me listings. So I've been averaging 200 to 260 every year.
Okay.
But the investment stopped because the short sales, I guess they're not as easy to get anymore.
Yeah.
So this year, I basically don't have anybody giving me like those listings anymore. So I have to get back to my old ways, which is prospecting, door knocking, and I haven't done it in like 7 years. So it's like, I feel like I'm a new agent, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah. And you're probably not super excited. Like, yeah, I get to go out.
But I like it. I mean, I've been doing it, following it for the last 2 weeks. I've had a few previews. I have some people that said, yes, I'm ready. And so I'm there. I just have to practice these scripts, get back to actually signing a listing, not just the investors giving it to me.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. It's nice if you have, like, there was a time where, remember, REOs, late 80s, early 90s were huge. You can make a lot of money. That was sweet because the business was just flowing. But you depend on somebody else.
Yeah.
If that somebody else gets fired, replaced, or they just change, or the market shifts and you don't have.
That's what I did. I should have just continued getting my leads.
Yeah.
Giving me leads.
Get in trouble. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's, and I also got sick. I've been having migraine issues for like 6 months. So it's slowed me down a little bit, but I'm ready to, I'm hoping to make 300,000 this year.
All right. So your goal is to do 300,000. That's a nice, ambitious goal.
Yeah, because I always make 250. I haven't left at 250. I want to.
Well, let's go for more. Might as well. I mean, if you're gonna work hard, might as well get paid well.
Yeah, exactly. But now I gotta do it on my own, mostly.
Which is good because that puts you in control.
Yeah.
I mean, if the investors come back, if the REO business comes back, if short sales come back, if the passive flow of business come back, that's a bonus. It's nice, but you don't depend on it. Yeah. You can expand with it, but you don't depend on it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, exactly.
All right, good. So how many deals do you need to close to do 300?
I did the math, about 4 a month.
About 4 a month.
Yeah.
So about 50 a year?
Yeah.
About 50 transactions. Okay. And how many listings do you have right now active?
Not really. I don't think I have to make that much. Yeah. Right now I have about 7.
You have 7 active listings.
Yeah.
Which area do you sell? Where are you, Andrea?
I'm in New Jersey.
You're in Jersey, okay.
Yeah, I'm in Hudson County, which is, prices are high.
Okay.
Oregon, and I'm doing some Essex.
Good, and properties are moving?
No, yeah, they're not moving as fast as last year, but they're moving.
They're moving, okay, good. Well, as long as there's demand, if you price it right and it sells, you're good.
Yeah, no, they're.
All right, good. So you have 7 active listings, you need to do 50, so you need to do another about 40 listings, give or take, to get to your goal.
Yeah, about 40 listings I need.
All right, so what do you think would be the best question to ask?
How much do I have to prospect?
That's part of it.
How many leads? Where do I get them?
Good question. Yeah, those are all very good questions. That's the second most important question, which is how? How do we get there? What would be the plan? But there's one before that.
How do we get there? How long? I don't know.
Those are all very good. Let me give you a hint. Why?
What's my why? Yes.
Why? That is the foundation. The mindset is the foundation because that's the fuel.
No, I do have a why, a big time why.
Yeah? Do you want to share?
No, I have my daughter and I have pretty much, I actually do some flips. I have 2 right now.
Good for you.
The goal is to start buying them and buying some properties and keeping them.
Oh, creating wealth. Now that's
my goal is to at least buy 1 a year and then 2 a year investments to keep. So that's my goal.
Good for you.
My why for my daughter, her college.
Yeah. Good for you. Now, what about you? What do you want to do for you?
Me, I like to travel.
Fantastic.
I love to travel.
Big trip in the next 12 months.
Huh?
Big trip in the next 12 months?
Yeah, I love to travel.
Where are you going to go?
I like Europe. I've gone so many places. I normally travel 3 times a year.
Okay.
So I want to keep it that way, 3 or 4 times a year.
Good. So travel,
Travel. Investments.
Travel and investments, creating what? Security?
Yes.
Security for you and your daughter.
And my husband.
And your husband, so family. What else?
My health.
Your health, good. Yes, that's important. And your sanity, right?
Sanity.
Your health. All right, these are all big whys.
Yes. That's my
These need to be at level 10. Big whys that really drive you, inspire you. Nobody has the right to judge you. You want to get a new Rolex? Get a fucking new Rolex. Nobody cares.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? Whatever inspires you is the right answer. There's no wrong answer. You judge it by how excited are you? Are you ready to get out of bed and get going? Like this morning, I was up, what was it, about 5:15. I was so jazzed to work on a new project. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Money will get you all this. But you start with that, and you constantly have to keep reminding us, because you know, you've been at it for what, 13 years?
Yeah.
It gets mundane and boring and tedious and hard. This business is hard. And whoever tells you otherwise is a lying sack of shit. It's a hard business.
Making these calls, I feel like a new
right?
You know what I mean? I'm like, oh my God, I have to talk
to all right, so we now have our why, which is the most important foundation. Now let's figure out, how do we get there?
Yes.
What will be the roadmap to get you there? Now, I keep it simple. That's one of my superpowers, because I'm not that smart. People think I'm bright. I'm not. I'm really not. I just figure out how to take something complicated like real estate and make it simple so an idiot like me can do it. So here's the secret. You're going to break it down. What do I have to do to get my 45 or so listings in the next, what are we, 8 months, 10 months?
Yeah, I have to hurry up.
You better jam, yeah, but it's doable. It's doable. So step one is we'll figure out a plan. Okay. And we're going to break that plan down. So we need to get 40. You have 7 actives. Do you have any pending listings?
Yes, 3. And then 3. I have flips. My flips make me a good amount.
Gotcha. So we need to get 40 listings in 10 months. So 1 a week, right?
Yes.
Okay. So now here's a question. What will it take to get you 1 listing a week? So we're going to break it down backwards.
Okay.
To get 40 listings, how many listing appointments do you need to go on? Where you sit down with the seller, that may or may not result in a signed contract.
3 for 1?
3 for 1. Okay. So you need to go on 120 appointments to get 40 listings, correct?
Ooh. Or if I get better at my skills. Right? I know.
So you don't need to increase the prospecting or the lead generation. You need to improve your skill.
Okay.
And not just skill, but your systems.
Right.
Because it's a 2-piece. Your skills plus the systems that support it. Okay. Yeah? Are you doing the listing mastery bootcamp with me?
No.
You're not in the class. Okay.
No. I mean, I've been reading the book, the Expire book.
Okay. And that will help a lot, because a lot of the psychology and systems are there.
I did.
So my recommendation number 1 is bring it to half, 50% at least.
Right.
Some of my students and the bootcamp graduates do about 80%. In other words, out of 10 appointments, 8 listings. That should be your goal very quickly, because with 13 years of experience, it's just a matter of tweaking certain things.
Yeah.
Okay. But we'll work with this for now, because that's where you are. So 120, that means 12 appointments a month. 12 appointments per month.
That's a lot, because I'm a mom too, you know.
It's gonna be busy.
I gotta cut that.
That's why I'm saying this should be fixed very quickly. I would give myself.
I don't have the time for that, actually.
Well, I hear you. What alternative do you have right now?
Huh?
What alternative do you have right now?
No, I have to cut that in. I have to.
You got to figure out how to make it work.
Your appointment has to get me something, or.
You got to figure it out. So my suggestion before we go further is fix this. Fix this immediately.
Yeah.
Okay. I would like you to bring it down to maybe 55.
Yeah.
That would be ideal. 55, maybe 60 appointments to 40 listings. And it can be done. I mean, I did it. My students do it, so it's doable.
Right.
So you break it down. What happens in 3 phases? This is first when you acquire the lead stage. This is the follow-up.
I gotta get better at follow. That's where my
We'll address that. And this is the actual listing appointment and process.
Okay.
Okay, so you need to fix that. This is your first impression. How they perceive you at the beginning. High status agent, competent, confident.
Right.
This is the follow-up, really build trust in relationship while qualifying the lead. Make sure you're talking to the motivated sellers, qualified sellers. And this is the actual process that includes your pre-listing package, pre-listing interview of the seller, doing all the steps before you actually sit down with the seller.
Okay.
These are the three things as far as systems you need to build or improve. I'm sure you already have a system in place. It just needs to be better.
Right.
Okay.
Like I said, I've been 7 years without having to do any of that. So
yeah. So the secret here is, I'm going to do different color here, is a good CRM. What do you use now, Andrea?
I just got your one that you suggested, the Lion Desk, which is
excellent. That's a good choice. Spend a couple of days learning it. It's not that complicated. Yeah. I figured it out. So
yeah, I have an assistant. So
excellent. That's important.
Yeah, I have at least her.
Delegate as much as humanly possible.
Yeah.
Because your job here in the follow-up is only to text,
right,
call, send videos, and meet face-to-face.
Okay.
Everything else is there. Even some of the text can be automated or sent by your assistant.
Right, with Lion Desk, yes.
Lion Desk, yeah. Okay? So fix this. This will help you fix that. And this will help you fix that. Is that helpful?
Yeah, no, I do like Lion Desk. It's giving my assistant what to do for the day.
Yeah.
Sending this thank you card, this packet. I already created your packet.
Perfect.
I actually like your scripts better. My office is a very Mike Ferry type of training. And
they tend to be a little abrasive.
I never liked his scripts for FSBOs, especially.
Yeah. Yeah, they are kind of harsh. I agree. I tried them.
This is more personal, you know, this is more like, I'm your friend.
Because at the end, it's just one human being helping another human being. So.
And I've actually been using your scripts for my short sale people because I still deal with those people for my flips, and it's been working.
Really? Good for you. That's awesome.
They're not like looking at me like I'm just here for the money. I'm trying to be like more like, what do you want? You know what I mean? Oh, let me just preview your house so when you're ready. I've never done that. I've just gone for the appointment for the listing.
Yeah, but which can be done. It's just if it doesn't happen, it's not broken. You're doing it right. It just takes a little more time. It's like dating.
Yeah.
You know, you don't ask to get married on the first date. You date a little. It takes a little bit of time.
Well, I was trained to go for the listing.
Yeah. Let's get married. Yeah. Okay, good. So that's the first part is we need to know, you need to get 40 listings, 120 appointments, 12 per month. And the final piece is because it's really 3 moving parts: leads, appointments, listings.
Right.
So we know appointments, we know listings. So how many leads does it take to get 120 appointments? So in other words, if you take the lead generation process you have in place, how many leads do you need to generate or must come to you through passive and active methods to get 1 appointment? What's your best guess?
Oh. If I need 3 just for an appointment?
It takes 3 leads to get 1 appointment?
For an appointment.
Wow, you're crushing it. That's amazing.
No, I'm saying, no, I didn't say that. I said you need 3. How many leads you need for 1 appointment?
Yeah.
Oh, probably 3.
3 is good. I mean, average is about 10. Mine was about 10.
Okay.
I had to have 10 leads in my CRM
for 1 appointment.
For 1 appointment.
Okay.
And out of 10 appointments, I would get 8 listings. Those are my numbers, of course, different than yours. But let's go with 3. That's cool. I mean,
no, I'm not saying I'm like that. I haven't really tested it yet. I just started.
Start tracking.
I'm going to
how many leads? And you want to track 2 types of leads. You want to track leads and prospects.
Right. Okay.
They're similar, but they're 2 distinct factors. Leads are future business, future meaning next day, next week, next month.
Okay.
Who you haven't talked to yet, but you're following up with. So let's say you have an expired listing, you knock on their door or you call them, nobody answers, but you attempt again. You plan to do something again. Okay. That's a potential lead.
Oh, okay.
Same expired, you reach and they say, Andrea, we're going to do some repairs and my wife has a surgery. Call us back in a month. That now is a prospect. So the ascendance process is lead, prospect, appointment.
I get it. Okay. So I was thinking prospect.
Now, The difference is with leads, your call to action is let's talk. Let's have a conversation so they can get to know you and you get to qualify them.
Person to person.
The call to action with prospects is let's get together. Appointment.
Okay.
Okay. Now, you can't get an appointment until you know, are they motivated? What are they trying to do? Where are they going to go? Do they have a property lined up? What is their circumstances? What is the situation?
Okay.
Okay. So you need to know these two. And lead can be straight into an appointment. That happened.
Right.
Like I would have an expired, I would mail them, call them, nothing. And then one day my phone would ring and they say, hey, we've been getting your stuff. Let's get together. Cool.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
So start tracking how many leads does it take, because what you can focus on now is, in order for you to get one appointment, let's just say it's going to take 10 leads, 5 leads, whatever number you're going to end up with, because it's going to be a combination of all these sources.
Okay.
So let's say it's whatever, 5. So that's 500, 600 leads in the next 10 months. So about 60 leads a month that you need to generate, 60 leads a month. So if you work 24 days on an average month, is that about right?
Yeah.
60 divided 24. So you're looking at 2.5 leads a day. So between 2 and 3 leads a day.
Oh, okay.
And that can be new expired listings, old expired listings. That can be people from your sphere who come to you. That can be your for sale by owners, open house visitors, whatever lead generation you do, all these come to you. Some prospects, some potential leads, all in your funnel.
I never liked for sale by owners, but I've been following your method and I've actually met a few. I just got to get them to meet with me. I've done previews. I have like 3 or 4 FSBOs that I've gone.
Oh, good for you.
Yeah, one of them has really high motivation. I just don't know how to get him to, because he keeps saying, I don't mind showing my property. I don't need an agent. I don't know how to get him to. He's not going to sell it the way he has a property.
Yes.
He needs to do some adjustments to the property.
Well, here is what I would recommend. You have a for sale by owner with high motivation. So sooner or later, he needs to or wants to sell.
He does.
There's a 70% chance he will list with an agent. Statistically,
Yeah.
7 out of 10 FSBOs end up listing. So higher the motivation, the more pressure, the more urgency, the better chance you have to lock it in.
Mm-hmm.
The hardest way to get that listing is to convince him. The more you try to convince him, the more you try to push him and show him the benefit, although we both know he's way better off with an agent.
Right, right.
The less chance you have gonna get it.
Right.
Because that's what everybody else is doing. That's exactly
I haven't done it. Right. I've just been giving him tips.
That's the best thing to do.
Pitch.
Now, I know you mean well, you want to help, and you also want to get the listing. That's normal.
Right, of course.
But here's the problem. You must be patient, because he needs to come to the conclusion. Because the moment you try to convince him and show him stats and data, they may all be right.
Yeah, yeah.
You're going to lose him, because now he feels like, oh, you want the listing, you have an agenda. You're not here to help me, you're here to get paid. You with me?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So the game is a game of patience. It's still a very quick listing compared to many other methods, as you know. But it's going to take a little bit of time before he realizes this was a bad idea. This is not working.
So the thing is, like, I'm probably the only one that's going to keep calling them.
Yes.
Right? Because I know most agents don't.
Yes.
I was one of them.
Because think about it.
This is called one time
the listing at the end.
Yeah.
Who gets the listing?
The one
The best agent?
Yeah.
How do you measure the best? There's no such thing as best. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Who gets the listing at the end? The most persistent agent who made a good first impression, who's not needy or desperate.
Right.
And who's patient, who is kind, who is helpful.
Okay.
Which is exactly what you're doing. Now, the trick there is your follow-up must be every 7 to 10 days.
For anything.
For anything. Because after about 2 weeks, they completely forget who you are.
Okay. No, they do, for sure.
People are busy. We're distracted. Yeah. We have a million things on our mind, you know, politics, coronavirus, and food, and all that shit, you know. I mean, it's kind of cute and naive when agents think like, you know, the prospects, all they think about is the agent. That doesn't work that way. Yeah, no, so you have to keep reminding them, but you can't just remind them, hey, are you ready? That would be annoying and obnoxious, and after a while, they would stop taking your calls. So just like you said, you're helpful, you're kind, you answer questions, you provide good information, you give them guidance. And by that, you're demonstrating, I have your best interest at heart, I want to help, and I know what I'm doing.
Okay.
Yeah?
So how many days on market should I don't want to just be the one that calls the 1 week that I call, oh, he already signed with someone else. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know when to, I mean, I already met him. The house is listed for 700. It's worth like 650.
Okay.
I have to get better at convincing him that it's worth 650.
Don't convince. Do not.
No, not at the appointment, right?
Do not. You do not discuss two things with a FSBO ever. Now, I'll define whatever means, but never discuss your commission and price.
Okay.
And third thing you never do is don't give any contract or legal advice.
Don't give any.
It's reserved for your paid clients.
Yeah.
All right. So when the FSBO, now this is good when the guy asks you, well, what do you think? How much should I ask for it? Or what commission do you charge? Those are good indicators. That means he's considering you. He's respecting you as authority and an expert, and he's considering you. You're in the game. That's all good. But you cannot give a direct answer because then you're qualifying yourself, which you don't want to do. Absolutely. Okay?
All right.
So as far as the price is what the price is. You can provide, like, here's what other homes are selling for. This is your competition. Bring him some comps. Awesome. Here's what the recent sales were in the area. Give him some comps. And you can tell him, you're within a general ballpark. Home in this area are selling between 600 to 750,000, whatever the range is. But you leave it at that.
Okay.
Because the moment he starts fishing and going deeper into price, you say, well, you know what? Rather than shooting from the hip and making up some numbers just to please you to get a listing, let's sit down and figure out what is the most a qualified buyer would be willing to pay you. Now, you can do that using a bridge. Do you have the Borino system?
No.
Get it.
I'm looking at it.
Get it.
Just trying to dissect this one.
Yeah. I mean, it's good that you're setting up one system at a time, but since you have FSBOs and you're already working with them, don't lose this opportunity. Get the system, because there I'll walk you through a dialogue called the bridge.
Okay.
And let me show you how that works. So you have some rapport with the seller that's essential. So you're not a perfect stranger to them anymore. So let's pretend you're the seller and we're talking and it's not working very well. You've been on the market. How long has this guy been on the market?
Right now, 39 days, I believe.
39 days. And what's the average day on the market for a good listing to sell?
He should have sold it by now.
It should have sold by now. Excellent. So here's what I would do. Here's how I would carry the conversation. I would say, Andrea, we got a problem. Your home should have been sold by now. We crossed the threshold and it's now becoming a stale property. That means all the good, motivated, primo A+ buyers are long gone. Now we're going to start dealing with investors, speculators, and bargain hunters. Because the good buyers been driving by your property for the last month and a half. You know what they're wondering?
What's wrong with the house?
What's wrong with the house? How come it hasn't sold? So you got a problem.
Okay.
What's your plan B? Are you going to drastically reduce the price? Are you going to increase your marketing and advertising? What do you want to do? Let him answer.
Yeah.
And then you go through the bridge. Andrea, let me ask you a question. What if there was a possibility? Now, I'm not saying I guarantee it, but what if there was a chance you would put about the same amount of money, maybe even more in your pocket, more cash, even after paying an agent, someone you like and trust, after listing the home? Would you consider it?
Yes.
Well, let's sit down for 20, 30 minutes and we'll figure it out. No pressure. This is not like a gimmick to try to list with me. But let's just go over the facts. Let's go over the figures. Let's see what's going on, what options you have. See if it makes sense. And whether we decide to work together or not doesn't matter. I promise you one thing. You're going to walk with plenty of good information. There'll be no pressure. There'll be no sales pitching or any of that. Why don't you come by my office tomorrow at 4:45? We'll grab a cup of coffee and go over everything. Fair?
Yes.
Cool. That's it. And some will say yes, and some will say no, and some will say jump in the lake and whatever. You know? But I know statistically that if I do this enough times, some will say, hell yes, help me. Right?
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yes. I've actually been enjoying the way that it's working.
Good. And the Borino is based on similar principles. But there is one big difference. The psychology of expired is different than the psychology of FSBOs. That's why I have two different books.
Yeah, one already has had the agent experience, right? The bad agent.
Right, exactly. So you need to combat that, where with FSBOs, what you need to combat is their skepticism towards agents to begin with. But you can't do it with persuasion. You need to do it with influence. Those are two very different things.
Okay.
Okay?
Maybe that's why I'm stuck with him.
No, you're not. You're doing it right. It just takes time.
Okay.
You see, you would like it to happen on your timeline.
I know, I gotta get that mentality up.
But that would be kind of like, I want to get pregnant and have a baby in 3 months. Good for you. It doesn't work that way.
But I always went just for the listing appointment, and I
Yes.
never followed up ever.
And when that happens, that's fantastic. Don't stop doing that.
Okay.
But my point is, when that doesn't
We'll just go for that, yeah. I could have made more money if I would have.
Don't leave money on the table. I heard one of the trainers, I'm not going to name anybody, but he was said on his recent video,
Yeah.
if a lead is not ready in 2 weeks, drop them. I'm like, what the fuck?
That's how I was trained.
Dude, that would cost me hundreds of thousands of dollars. Are you insane? That's dumb. That's
I was trained to go for the kill.
And sometimes that's fine. If the seller is ready, that's great.
But not always. No, I don't. Sometimes.
But I'm here to tell you, for 20 years of experience, 90% of the sellers will not be ready. They will eventually list. It takes a little time.
Oh, I would see properties that I should have followed up. I see it listed. I'm like, we're not following up.
Yeah, yeah. Well, here's an example. Remember how I said real estate is like dating? How did you meet your husband?
In New York City.
In New York City.
With other friends.
And when you met, was it like at a party, social gathering, or something like that?
Yeah.
Right. Was there a period where you would just call each other, text each other, go for coffee?
Yes, just call.
How long from the time you met till the time he proposed?
Oh, 2 years.
2 years! Now, would you have been slightly freaked out of that night that you guys met at the party? He would say, you're the one, I want to marry you.
I get what you're saying.
You would just run.
You're scary. You're freaking
right. That would be scary. That would be needy. That would be desperation.
That's true.
Same thing here. It's the same thing. If it does happen and the seller is ready, and occasionally that happens, like I had
it does.
Walk in, you know how you click with somebody right away. And
I've had I've been waiting for someone like you to call me.
Exactly.
Listing. I've gotten it.
Yeah. And that's perfect.
But
that's
you get spoiled.
Awesome, but people get frustrated and disappointed when that doesn't happen. And I say, give it a little time, a little patience, a little skill, communication, building trust, building connection, while you still qualify them. Where you understand, who are these people? What are they trying to do? Can I really help them? Are they realistic? How high is their motivation? And that people may not open to you right away, you know? So you're doing it well. Just, we're going to tighten it up a little.
I've been using your system for, I do a lot of mail outs for my flips. Normally would just go for the kill. Now I'm like, what is it that you're looking for? Let me just see the house. So when you're ready, and I've gotten a few leads out of that, more leads than I only get out of one mail out. So yes.
Perfect. I will give you even a little dialogue that really helps. This will alleviate some of their pressure, some of the fear. You say, let's not do anything rash for now. Let's not rush. Let's take it easy, one step at a time. That puts them at ease. So they don't feel pressured. They don't feel like you have some agenda going.
Yeah.
You do, but you want to help. Yeah?
Yes.
Has it been helpful?
Yes, it has.
Good. So you know what to do. You need to figure out, how do I get 2 to 3 leads a day? You need to tighten up your listing system. That definitely needs some work. Get the FSBO, because like with this guy, I promise you, mark my words, you're going to read, and the booklet is only like, I don't know, 80 pages. You're going to fly through it on Saturday afternoon with a cup of tea. You're going to go, I got it.
Yeah, I need to get him. I want to get him.
And he wants your help.
Yeah, he does.
He needs help. He clearly needs help. From pricing to marketing to getting it done. It's too complicated. I mean, think about it this way. If going FSBO was such a great idea, wouldn't everybody be doing it?
And he lives in New York. He drives all the way over here.
Oh, yeah. That's an ideal client. What you need to do is focus on the relationship and don't pressure.
Okay.
Don't pressure him. Now, that doesn't mean you're not confident. It doesn't mean you're not in control. It doesn't mean you don't offer help. You make it clear. Hey, look, if plan B comes that point where you want to sit down with somebody, let's sit down and talk. I'd be happy to.
Okay.
But you tell me when you're ready. Yeah? So I don't want you to miss the opportunity, like you said. You don't want to be the one who calls and says, I listed with Joe down the street.
Yeah.
You don't want to do that. So you tell him, hey, what if there was a possibility you could put about the same amount, maybe even more cash in your pocket? Because if he's motivated and if there is trust in relationship, which clearly there is, what do you think he's going to ask?
What's your commission?
Before that, he's gonna, how are you gonna do that?
Oh, how are you gonna do it?
How are you gonna put more money in my pocket if I pay commission? That doesn't make sense. But you say, I know, that kind of sounds counterintuitive. Let me show you. We'll get together and I'll walk you through it.
But if he's already overpriced, how do I, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know how to. Like
his asking price means nothing. His asking price means nothing. That means nothing.
Oh.
Why? Because
I get what you're saying.
The price.
Like, but what you're saying is by him selling it on his own.
Yes. Because here's the thing: whatever he's asking for is not what property going to sell for. Who's going to determine the sales price?
The market.
Who's going to determine the sales price?
The buyers.
The buyer. It's 100% the buyer every single time. The seller can say yes or no, but it's going to be up to the buyer to say yes, we'll pay this much, and we're not paying this much.
Right.
So it's up to the buyer. So now, if the buyer walks in and buyer knows this seller is selling on their own, do you think they're going to offer fair market value or fair market value minus the commission?
Minus the commission. They're going to do the same thing.
So how is that a winning proposition for the seller?
Okay.
They're not going to make that money. They think they will. But who has the power? It's the buyer. The buyer will ultimately determine the sales price. They always do. Okay. That's what the market value really means. What is the most the buyer is willing to pay? And if the buyer knows the seller is not paying him commission, why the hell should I offer them more? Hell, I will offer them less.
Right.
You know what I mean? Not to mention, I mean, there are other things. And in the FSBO Borino, you will actually see me do a listing presentation to a FSBO where I'll explain these things.
Okay.
Why they're netting less. This is just part of the problem. There is a second part of the problem. The best buyers are represented by agents. Because it's free, it's convenient, it's easy. Right?
Right. I mean,
now, let me ask you a question. If an agent has an option to show a listed property with an agent, with a lockbox, with all the benefits, and a FSBO, which one do you think they're going to show first?
Yeah.
They ain't going to show FSBO unless they absolutely have to.
Right.
So now the seller is stuck. No good buyers. Buyers who do come are looking for a deal, and he's not represented. That means there is no marketing, there's no negotiation ability, nothing. Not to mention he has to drive from New York City just to show the damn thing.
Yeah. Definitely.
So it's a no-brainer.
Okay. That's why I know that he's a hot lead. He's like,
he is. And my projection is if the motivation is high, which it indicates it is.
Very high. I have another one too, another FSBO that I went to since I bought you.
Now, this house is going to sell for $650. If you do it right, you're going to make $15,000, $20,000 on.
Yeah.
You can flip these and do these. Out of 10 FSBOs, 2 or 3 can be your listings. It's totally doable, totally realistic to expect.
Okay.
So you want to get to your 40 or 50, you're sitting on a gold mine. Because think about it, at the end, somebody's going to list it. 7 out of 10 list with an agent. Right. Why not you? Okay. You've been in the business long enough. You have the expertise, you have the experience, and you have the heart. You know?
Yeah.
You're not just in for the dollars. They matter, of course. You got to pay your bills and provide for the family, but you care about your clients. You want to do a good job for them. Yeah? Is that good?
Yes.
Are we good?
I got to get the FSBO. I'm stuck with them.
Get it. Yeah, order it right now.
I have another one. The same thing. It's a $700,000 two-family.
Jump on it.
Moving to Florida.
If you do 2 or 3 a month of these, that's an extra $60,000 to use. That's a no-brainer to me. And it's a very easy system. I don't like complicated. I don't like pushy. I don't like difficult.
No, I don't.
It's not hard. You're helping people. You're talking to people. They see you as a solution, not as a problem.
Okay.
That's the positioning. Yeah. So yeah, jump on it, get it, and let me know what you think. I mean, we can have another session once you get it. I'll help you implement it as well. So reach out to Roseanne, and we'll get together again to kind of iron out the kinks.
Okay.
Okay, and you let me know how this guy turned out, okay?
I know, I am.
All right, Andrea, good.
I'm going to go after him.
Go after him, yes. Go after him. But go after him with being helpful and being
caring.
Cool. Okay?
What about the list once I'm there? Because again, like I said, I haven't done this in like 7 years.
Well, for that, I will set you up with the Presentation Plus system. Because what happens is your listing presentation, 80% of your work is done before you sit down with the seller.
Right.
That's the secret.
Yeah.
That would be I have a whole boot camp on it. I'll put you in one of those and you'll see how it'll make perfect sense.
Okay.
What you're doing now is a hard way to get listings. I'll show you an easier, way more effective way too. we want to bring this number down. Because think about it, if you can generate this many leads, you can get way more listings. Or vice versa, you say, well, fuck it, I don't need to kill myself, still get the same amount of listings, just don't have to work that hard.
Yeah, I don't have.
You can go either way.
I have a daughter, I can't.
Yeah, we'll send you, there's another book, looks like, let's see if I have it. Yeah, I do. See, there's a whole manual for it. It's called the Presentation Plus. But right now, I only teach this in a boot camp because there is a part of it where I need to come in and kind of walk you through it. So, but we'll get that. First, get the FSBO. Start there.
Okay.
All right, Andrea, keep me posted, please.
Okay, I will. Okay.
Right, it was great chatting with you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I'll send you the video. Keep me posted. We'll talk soon.
Thank you.
Take care. Ciao.